I've been sitting in this silence longer than I thought I could. Funny how the quiet teaches what the loud never would. I used to leave the TV on at midnight just to fill the empty with some sound. Used to check my phone every 5 minutes, hoping you'd come back around. But tonight I let the silence have the room, let it sit beside me like a friend. And somewhere in the middle of the quiet, I stopped waiting for the weekend, for the message that says I'm sorry, baby, for the call that says I miss you in the night. I stopped holding all the empty space between us, and I let myself be finally right. I don't need the validation, don't need you to tell me I'm enough. I found the girl you always undervalued. Turns out she was never not enough. I'm worth it without you, worth the flowers and the time, worth the Sunday morning slow down, worth the pouring tree and rhyme. I was always worth the loving, just not the kind that you were giving. I'm worth it without you, and honey, that's how I keep living. Every single day, in every single way, I'm worth it without you. I went through all the photographs one evening, looking for the moment I went wrong. But every single picture told the story of a woman who was trying to belong to something that was never made for her shape, to a love that only fit when she'd been small. And I looked at every photo of my trying, and I said, baby girl, you deserve it all. Not the version where you shrink yourself to be it, not the version where you dim so he feels bright, not the version where your joy requires his permission. safe it, always was worth it, always will be. It's 3 in the morning and I'm finally okay. Took me long enough, but I got here anyway. I used to dread the 3 a.m. arrival, when the mind goes to the places it shouldn't go. When the bed feels like a crime scene of the missing, and the pillow has the outline of the load. But tonight I woke up and it felt like nothing, like a Tuesday in the ordinary, yeah. And I lay the test in all the old sensations, reaching for the ache that wasn't there. And the absence of the ache felt like a sunrise, not the dramatic kind, but the quiet growing gold, the kind that comes before anyone is watching, the kind that doesn't need to be told. It's 3 a.m. and I'm over you, not performing it, not pretending to, actually over you. The real kind, the bone deep kind, the kind that snuck up on me from behind. Oh, 3 a.m. and I'm over you, sleeping through the night like it's brand new, actually over you. I remember when I used to write your letters at 3 a.m. that I never used to send. Long dramatic declarations of the missing that would always start with baby but would never end. I found them in a notebook last October, read through every overwritten word, and I felt the tenderness of that young woman, and the distance from the feelings I once heard. She was doing what the heartbroken do completely. She was bleeding on the paper to survive. She was riding through the 3 a.m. to morning, and her writing kept the morning and her alive. So I thank her and I fold those letters gently, put them in the drawer beside the other gone. Because at 3 a.m. I wrote through to the sunrise, was the 3 a.m. that helped me carry on. It's 3 a.m. and I'm over you, not performing it, not pretending to, actually over you. The real kind, the quiet kind, the kind of peace of mind left behind. Well, 3 a.m. and I'm over you, sleeping through the night like it's brand new, actually over you. And if you're somewhere in your 3 a.m. right now, reading this and feeling all the way, I wanna tell you that the overcomes eventually, sometimes early and sometimes very late. But it comes the way the morning always comes, not with announcements, not with a parade, just the slow arrival of the light inside the darkness, the quiet undeniable upgrade from the ache to the okay to the better, from the worst to the almost to the fine, from the 3 a.m. of missing someone badly to the 3 a.m. of finally being mine, finally being mine, mine. Oh, it's 3 a.m. and I'm mine, mine. It's 3 a.m. and I'm over you. Not performing it, not pretending to, actually over you. Real kind, the free kind, the sleeping through the night kind. 3 a.m. and I'm over you. Waking up like everything is new, actually over you. Actually over you. I'm sleeping. I'm free, baby. I'm finally just me. You always said I was beautiful, like it was the whole story you could tell. Like the shape of me was the beginning, and the shape of me was the end as well. You never asked me what I dream about, what I built when no one's looking at my face, what I think about at 4 in the morning, what I'm healing from, what I'm running to embrace. You just stood back and you looked at me like artwork, like a painting you were proud to have and own. And I tried to be enough inside the looking, but a woman can't be housed inside a tomb. I am more than what your eyes can capture, more than what the photograph can hold. I'm the full and complicated chapter, not just the cover and not just the gold. Don't love me, just skin deep. Skin deep is the shallow end of me. There's an ocean underneath, and you keep waiting at the edge of everything. Don't love me just the surface, don't love me just the face and the form. Go deeper than the beautiful, where the real woman was born. Skin deep won't keep me, yeah. Skin deep won't hold. Don't love me just skin deep. Love me down to the soul. I've been underneath the looking for so long now that I started to believe it was enough. Started performing the version of the wanted, started smoothing over everything that's rough. I stopped talking about the things that trouble me, stopped showing up with all the complicated holes, because I learned the only version you were keeping was the beautiful and never the full soul. And something in me started disappearing, one dimension at a time, until the flat and the woman in the mirror had a beautiful exterior and nothing of herself behind the fact. I wanna be seen, not just looked at. I wanna be heard, not just admired. I want someone who finds me at my hardest and still wants to go wherever it requires. Not the version I present on Sunday mornings, not the version that has slept and has been fed, the version at 2 a.m. with undone feelings, the version pulling thoughts from inside her head, the version who is uncertain and is searching, the version who is sometimes not okay, the version who needs holding up for beauty, but for all the complicated human sway. Love that version, love that version. Can you love that version of me? Skin deep is the entry, not the country. Go deeper and you'll see. Don't love me, just skin deep. Skin deep is the shallow end of me. There's a universe beneath, and I'm inviting you to go with me. Don't love me just the surface. Don't love me just the aesthetic and the show. Go deeper than the mirror and the makeup. Into the woman only few will know. Skin deep won't keep me. Skin deep won't hold. Don't love me just skin deep. Love me down to the soul. Down to the soul. Down to the soul. All the way down. Down to the soul. I don't always have to be the strong one. I don't always have to hold the whole thing up. I don't always have to have the answer ready, or pretend the half empty is a full cup. But I learned real early in this living that the ones who need you tend to need you strong. And if you show them where the crack was running, they would find a way to sing a different song. So I built a face for every occasion, a face for the meeting in the morning and the cry, a face that says I've handled harder than this honey, a face that keeps the breaking on the inside. And then you came along and you just asked me the simplest question in the world to ask. You said, baby, are you doing actually? And I felt the whole thing crack behind the mask. I just need a soft place, somewhere I can put the armor down. A soft place where being broken isn't being drowned. I just need one person and one evening, one room where I don't have to be okay. A soft place is all I'm asking for today. Just a soft place, just a soft place, just one soft place to fall. I told you everything that Tuesday kitchen evening, things I hadn't said to anyone alive. Unpacked all the boxes I've been carrying from the years before I learned to just survive. And you didn't try to fix a single item, didn't minimize or manage what I gave. You just sat inside the room with me completely, and you let me use the space like it was safe. And I cried the kind of crying that's been waiting, the backed up kind that has no dignity. And you handed me a glass of water gently, and you said, I'm not going anywhere I see. There's a woman underneath the capable, who is tired in the most complete of ways, tired of the always having it together, tired of the endless putting on a face. She just wants everything, my soft place after all.
I wake up in the morning like I own the whole skyline, like every color in the sunrise, put that just for me. I put my coffee on and let the daylight do its talking, and I decide what kind of woman I'm gonna be. Not the version that the world decided in my childhood, not the version that the mirror used to sell, not the woman shaped by every disappointment, but the one that only I know for myself. I've been learning the religion of the morning, the gospel of the ordinary and the gold, that the richest kind of living isn't trending. It's a story that only you can tell and hold. And I walk into the golden hour glowing, not because I'm perfect or I'm done, but because I decided I was worth the light before the day had barely just begun. I'm a golden hour girl, living in the light I made myself. Golden hour girl, putting all the good stuff on the shelf, where I can reach it on the hard days, where I can taste it when the cold comes. I'm a golden hour girl. Baby, I'm just getting started on becoming golden, golden. Everything I touch turns gold. Golden, golden, golden. Ready as I'm living on. I'm a golden hour girl. I don't need the validation of the outside, don't need the comment section to confirm that the woman in the mirror is enough now, that I finally got something left to learn. From joyous their survival and the proving, from the peace instead of earning what I need. I stepped out of the cycle of the constant, planted myself and let myself take seed. And now I'm growing in direction unexpected, in the spaces I had written off as small. Turns out the ordinary is the extraordinary, when you finally stop and look at it at all. I used to taste the golden hour everywhere, try to catch it in another person's arms, try to find it in the approval and the outside, in the title and the beauty and the charms. I'm a golden hour isn't anywhere but inside. It isn't given, it's already here. It's the moment when you choose yourself completely. It's the now of every now throughout the year. And when I found that out, I stopped the chasing, sat down in my own light and let it warm. Let the golden hour fill the whole apartment. Let it show me every room inside my phone. Every room is gold, every room is light.
wasn't the flowers he brought that first October. It wasn't the restaurant or the candlelight. It wasn't the way he looked when he arrived there. Though all of that was perfectly alright, it was the way he listened when I started talking, like the thing I said was the only thing in the room, like his whole body leaned into the sentence, like my words could move the furniture and rearrange the gloom. Nobody ever listened to me like that, like I was saying something worth the full receipt, like my ordinary thoughts were worth the silence, like everything I said he would believe. And I felt something shift inside the quiet, something I had given up on finding true, the particular alchemy of being fully heard by someone who was fully there with you. The way he listens is the finest thing about him, if you ask me. The way he listens, like the whole world stops and there is only me. I've been talked at and I've been talked over, I've been given answers before the question's done, but the way he listens is a kind of loving that I didn't know existed until him. The way he listens, like I'm worth the hearing. The way he listens changed everything. I tested it one evening just to see it. I started talking about something small and plain, the conversation I'd had with a coworker on Tuesday, the kind of story no one could sustain. But he sat there with his coffee going cold, looking at me with those patient, unhurried eyes. And when I finished, he asked the perfect question, the one that proved he'd heard the whole of it inside. And I stopped mid-answer and I looked at him directly, and I said, do you actually care about this story? And he laughed and said, of course I do, you're telling it. And I fell in love in full involuntary glory. This is what the love songs never quite get right. It isn't just the grand and the dramatic night, it's the Tuesday and the ordinary Wednesday, the small attention in the ordinary light, the question that says I was paying to your living, the remembering of the thing you mentioned last week, breathe, the noticing when something shifts behind your expression before you even named it as a grief. That is the love I want, and that is the love I have now. That particular and attentive and alive. from me on paper. I've written out the reasons in my best clear hand. I've talked to all my girlfriends on a Sunday. They all gave me the same good understand. They said, girl, you need to cut it off completely. They said, girl, there's nothing good at the end of this. They said, girl, you know exactly where it's going. And I said, I know this. And then he texted at 11 on the Wednesday. 3 words and a period and a wait. And I stood there knowing all my friends were right. And I went anyway because it's already too late. I am fully in my eyes wide open. I am fully aware of what this is and isn't. I am doing the exacts, but I told myself I wouldn't. And I am doing it completely without resistance. This is dangerous, comfortable, the kind of wrong that feels so familiar is right. Dangerous, comfortable, I know all the exits, but I stay through the night. It's not love in a real and growing sense, it's the wanted version of a habit and a pull. Dangerous, comfortable, and I keep coming back for more. Dangerous, dangerous, comfortable and impossible to ignore. There's a version of me that would be better, that would choose the difficult and the clean, that would walk away from the dangerous comfortable into something clear and straight and serene. I've met her in the morning when the clarity arrives. She is level-headed and she is done. She has packed the metaphorical belongings, and she's walking toward the actual undone. But then the afternoon ooze with its soft gravity, and the memory of the way it feels to be inside that particular comfortable dangerous, and the level head for the woman I was supposed to be, the one who had it figured out by 30, the one who made the right choices faithfully. But the mirror shows me someone still becoming, still mid-sentence in the paragraph of growth, still correcting and revising and beginning, still somehow being both the most and the least and both. And I used to stand in judgment of that woman, used to hold the mirror like a courtroom and a case, used to prosecute the soft and the uncertain, used to sentence her to perpetual disgrace. But something shifted in the reckoning of kindness when I started treating her the way I treat a friend. And the mirror that had been a place of verdict became a place of mercy without end. Mirrors and mercy, that's what I'm learning now. Mirrors and mercy, look at yourself and know how to hold the hard truths without the cruelty, to see the whole picture without the shame. Mirrors and mercy, for the woman with your name. For the woman with your name. I have friends who cannot look at photographs, who turn away from every reflecting thing, who have learned to live in the perpetual beside themselves, never fully in the body they are in. And I understand it because I've been that woman who treated her own image like the enemy, who wore the self-contempt like daily clothing, who couldn't find the mercy in the me. But the body did nothing to deserve the warfare. It showed up every morning in the cold. It carried every burden and kept breathing. It deserves the mercy, it deserves the hold. So I am practicing the mercy in the morning. I am standing in the mirror and I say, you are doing something extraordinary just by being here and getting through the day. You are not behind the schedule of the living. You are right on time for your particular road. You are not the deficit you used to count yourself as. You are every seed and everything you sowed, and the harvest is still coming. It is growing in the fields you planted when the soil was hard. And the woman in the mirror is the farmer, the one who kept on working under every scar. Mirrors and mercy, mirrors and mercy. Give it to yourself the way you give it to the beloved. Mirrors and mercy, mirrors and mercy. You deserve the kindness you've been giving everybody. Mirrors and mercy, mirrors and mercy. That's the practice and the prayer. Mirrors and mercy. Stand in front of yourself and dare to love the work in progress and the trying, to love the woman waking every day. Mirrors and mercy, for the woman in this place. For the woman in this place. Give her grace. Give her grace. Give her grace. Give her grace. Mirrors and mercy. Give her grace. Give her all. I packed my whole life into 4 suitcases on Friday. Gave the key back to the landlord with a wave. Said goodbye to all the familiar and the certain. Said hello to the terrified and the brave. New city with a skyline I can't read yet, with the streets that don't mean anything to me, with its coffee shops I have to learn by trial, with its whole new cast of who I'm gonna be. I stood inside the airport with my carry-on and heartbeat, both of them going faster than they should. And I thought, I'm doing this, I'm actually doing this. And the terrifying felt remarkably good. New city, same heart, same woman, just a different set of walls. New city, same heart, same dreams, just rerouted through new walls. I didn't leave to lose myself in the new, I left to find the parts that the old city covered. New city, same heart, and I'm taking her with me wherever. Same heart, same fire. New city, new wire. I'm taking her with me, I'm taking her with me. The first 3 weeks were harder than I planned for. The loneliness was genuine and large. I ate my dinner standing at the counter, watched the city light up outside like a montage of everyone else's life that had a plot line, while mine felt like the part before the plot. The empty set before the characters arrive, the clearing of the stage before the slide. But then the city started teaching me its language, the particular rhythm of its morning and its night. And I started learning myself inside the unfamiliar, in the space that forced me fully into light. Every new city is a question about who you are without the context of the known, without the coffee shop that knows your order, without the familiar that has built your comfort zone. And the answer always comes back to the same thing. The self that traveled here is still the self. The woman in the new apartment on the Wednesday is the same woman who got up from the shelf of the too small and the too familiar, and decided she was worth going to. New city, same heart. New city, same heart. The heart is what I brought, and it is new. New city, same heart, same woman who decided she was worth a new beginning and a new horizon, a new address and a whole new world. New city, same heart. I'm gonna learn the streets and learn the coffee. I'm gonna find my people in the crowd. New city, same heart, and I am same You were the closest thing to the real thing, the one I described when I described the love I wanted, the one I tested all my future hopefuls against, a ghost I carried and the standard I had haunted. We were the perfectly compatible and impossible, the right everything in the wrong calendar year. The love that could have been, the love had circumstances, been different and the timing not so clear. And we both knew it on the last night of November, when we sat inside the restaurant past close and talked around the thing we weren't addressing, the thing that both of us already knows, that some loves are not built for the landing, some loves are only built for the beautiful flight, and ours was so exquisitely the flying that we never found the ground to get it right. Of all my almost, the ones that came so close to the real, all of my almost, the love I learned from the love I could feel, but not hold, not keep, not carry to the altar, the love that taught me what love should feel like. All of my almost, you are the one I'll always call the closest. Almost, almost, my beautiful almost, the love I'll always be grateful was mine. I saw you in a photograph last August, standing with a woman and a child on a coast, and you were laughing in the particular way that I remembered I had loved the most. And something small and tender moved inside me, not the grief of the lost and left behind, but the sweetness of the well and truly healed, the fondness that lives on the other side of time. I smiled at the phone there in the ordinary Tuesday, and I sent the photo to my best friend with a line that said, "Look at him, I hope he's really happy." And she wrote back, "Honey, so are you," and that felt fine. To all the almost that made me who I am, the one who left in March without a reason again, the one in the foreign city for a season, the one I loved but wasn't finished with my living to give it. Each of you was a chapter and a teacher. Each of you was the love that led me somewhere. And I don't live inside the almost anymore, but I honor all the almost and the care, all the almost and the care, all the almost and the care. Thank you for the almost, for the beautiful almost that led me from the almost to the there. All of my almost, the beautiful and the broken and the kind. All of my almost, the love that got me out of my own mind and into the believing that the real kind, the hold it and the keep it and the stay. All of my almost was the road that led me all the way. Almost, almost, my beautiful almost. Thank you for the almost that became today. Oh, yeah. He said I was a lot to handle, like a lot was something I should be ashamed of, like the fullness of me was a problem, like the bigness of me was something to be tamed of. I take up space with both my voice and my ideas. I laugh too loud in the restaurants apparently. I have opinions about everything that matters. I have boundaries and I hold them apparently. He said, "You're allowed," and I say yes, I know it. And I reach for my bag and I walk out of there, because I am done apologizing for the volume of a woman who decided she would care. admiration, and a mother too much for the one before. And every woman in my line who dared to be the fullness got told she was too much and she won't less more. But every woman in my line who answered by making herself less and making herself small left behind a version of herself that ate quietly, a woman who never showed herself at all. So I am making a different choice for my daughters. I'm leaving the too much so they know it's okay to be all of themselves in every room completely, to take up all the space they need to take. I am the loudest person in my family story, the one who said the thing that needed saying out loud, the one who drew the line and kept it standing, the one who wasn't gonna shrink for any crowd. And yes, it cost me comfort and it cost me some acceptance, and yes, they're all the ones who found me difficult and much. But I found out that living in the full size of my living cost me people I didn't need and not a new. Too much woman is the woman I was always. Too much woman was the sentence that set me free. Too much woman for the ones who want the palatable. Too much woman is the whole and right amount of me. Too much woman for the ones who want a fraction. Too much woman for the ones who need you tame. Too much woman is the revolution in action. Too much woman, and I'll never be ashamed. Be the too much, be the full and be enormous. Be the loud and be the opinionated. Too much woman is the finest thing you'll feel. Too much woman. Too much woman. Too much woman. Too much woman. And I'm proud of every inch of this. Too much. Too much. Too much. And never ends. Too much woman. And I'll never be ashamed. Too much. Too much. Too much. Never ends. Too much woman. And I'll never be Sundays used to be my favorite day entirely. The slow and hurried morning with nowhere to be. The coffee that we made before the world remembered. The particular Sunday version of us and we. You'd sleep until 11 without apology, and I'd read beside the window in the light. And every Sunday had the shape of something sacred that I wouldn't trade for any other ride. Part of Sunday shade. Sunday without you is too quiet. Sunday without you has too much of me in it. Sunday without you has no edges. No one sleeping past 11. I did when I pour 2 cups without a second thought to lose. That the body doesn't update to the single. The body keeps the habit of the tune. And there is something in the body's lore remembering that is more heartbreaking than missing you. Maybe one day Sundays will belong to someone new. We'll be rebuilt around a different shape of morning. And I look back on the Sundays that I grieve through with the fondness that comes after all the mourning. But for now I'm in the middle of the Sunday, the specific Sunday without you that aches. And I let it ache because the ache means something. The ache means that what we had was real and stays. Sunday without you, Sunday without you. I'll pour 1 cup of coffee and I'll try. Sunday without you, Sunday without you. Quietly learning how to say goodbye. Sunday without you is still beautiful somehow. Sunday without you has its own kind of peace. Sunday without you is getting slightly easier. Sunday without you's giving me release. Slowly and imperfectly releasing the shape of every Sunday that we knew. Sunday without you is still Sunday, and I'm learning to be Sunday without you. Without you, without you. Learning to be Sunday without you. I love this city when it rains at midnight, when the neon bleeds into the wet black street, when the whole enormous thing goes soft and backstreet, and the hard edges of the day become complete in their submission to the water falling over every taxi and advertisement they name, and the woman in the window watching all of it becomes the only still thing in the frame. That woman is me on every rainy evening, when the city does its neon and its rain. I pour a glass of something dark and settle, and I let the city do its thing again. Neon and town in the summer, 22 and carrying a bag, and I believe that the city had the version of my living that the small town couldn't hold inside its breath. And the city took me years to learn completely, took me through the hard years and the lost, but the neon and the rain kept being beautiful through every year of every different cost. And somewhere in the learning of the city learned me back the way it does, the way a place becomes a part of you, and you become a part of what it was. There are cities in the world that are more famous, more photographed and fabled and displayed, but this one has my history in the pavement, my first apartment and my first decade, my first real love and my first honest heartbreak, my first moment standing in the full of who I was becoming, and deciding that the becoming was beautiful and full. And all the nights it rains across the neon, I see all of it reflected in the street. Every version of the woman I've been living, lit up in the water at my feet. Neon and rain, neon and rain. All my years of living reflected in the same. Neon and rain. This is the city and the life I chose completely. Neon and rain. This is the love that I found and found me deeply. Not the romantic kind, but the longer kind. The love of a place that holds your whole becoming. Neon and rain. This city is the finest song I'm humming. Neon and rain. This is where I live. This is where I came. This is mine. You should see me now, not in the arrogant way, not in the look which you're missing, dramatic display, but in the genuine way that says something in me completed its becoming after you walked away. I finished school and started the thing I'd been afraid of. I moved into the apartment that I chose alone. I cut my hair and kept the friends who matter, and I built the closest thing I've known to home. You left in the middle of the manuscript, before the chapters that turned out to be the best. And I don't say this strongly as the fact. The version of you now is worth the witnessing, and they don't get to see it looking back. You miss the version of me that arrived after, the woman who needed no one's validation more. You miss the version of me that found the laughter inside herself and opened up that door. I don't say this to wound you or to settle. I say this because the story should be told. You miss the version of me that became precious, that became certain, that became born. You miss the version, the finest version, the version of me after you. I keep you in the lavender memory section, the soft lit and the warm and the half dream, where you resist to love the best of the moments, and nothing is as hard as it once seemed. Time is kinda what it processes through distance. It keeps the color and releases the sting, and you become a lavender memory now, the fondest and the most nostalgic kind of thing. I catch you in a song sometimes on the radio, in the chorus of a thing we both once knew, and I smile the way you smile at an old photograph, at the person that I was when I loved you. Lavender memory, soft and sweet and just a little bit sad. Lavender memory, all the good parts of the love that we had, not the sharp parts and not the hard parts, just the lavender version time made true. Lavender memory is what I keep of you. There was a field outside the city that we drove to on a Saturday in July before the end, and you pulled over on the side of the road completely, and we walked into the lavender, and then we stood there with the purple all around us, not saying anything because it needed nothing said. And I remember thinking I wanna hold this moment in the future when this love becomes the past instead. And here I am inside that exact future, And the lavender's exactly what I kept. The particular shade of a Saturday in July, the silence in the field and what it meant. I think the heart has a filing system for the things it wants to carry from the gone. It knows which parts to keep in the lavender and which parts need the leaving to move on. And the filing is a mercy and a wisdom, the editing of memory toward the good. Not dishonest, but the kindest kind of keeping, holding what the love was when it could, when it could be everything it offered, before the complicated and the end. Lavender memory is the heart's way of loving what it cannot hold but can command. Lavender memory, soft and sweet and tinged with the bittersweet. Lavender memory, the love that was most fully in its heat, before the cooling and the leaving, before the chapter closed on what we knew. Lavender memory, the finest way to carry you. Lavender, soft and sweet and gone. Lavender, of a love that was its own kind of song. For a long time I put myself at the bottom of my list, after the job and after everyone I cared for, after the obligations and the arts and all the should. I was the last thing that I came to work. I ate the last of everything that no one else had wanted, took the smallest of the comfortable and the good, gave the best hours of my living to the outside, and saved the scraps for me the way I thought I should. Because somewhere I had learned that sacrifice was virtue, that the woman who trip I've been postponing since the year I started going to the class on Tuesday mornings. I started letting rest be something I revere. Not as laziness, but as the radical act of a woman who decided she was worth the care. The same care that she gives without the asking to every single other person there. And the world did not collapse without my sacrifice. The people in my life did not require my less. In fact, the more I filled myself with the attention, the more I had to give with no distress. There is a woman somewhere reading this right now who has given everything to everyone but herself, who can tell you every person in her circle's favorite color, but couldn't tell you the last time she put her own well-being first. She needs to hear this. You are allowed to choose yourself. You are allowed to be on your own list. You are allowed to feel your suffer, not because nobody else matters, but because you matter too. You have always mattered too. Choose yourself. Choose her. She has been waiting so long. You choose her. Choose her today. Choose her every day. I choose me. I choose me, not instead of love, but in addition to. I choose me, the woman I'm becoming and the one who came through. Every hard thing and every hard year, I choose her first before the world gets to decide. I choose me, and it is the finest choice of my whole life. I choose me, I choose me every single day. I choose me. Oh, yes, I do. I choose me. You gave me half a love and I took it, convinced that half was more than I deserved. You gave me half your time and half your presence, and I arranged my whole life in the space reserved for me inside the half that you were offering. I made it home, I made it everything I had. I painted the walls of the half that you were giving, and I called it good and called the full love sad. I told myself the full love was a fiction, a fairy tale the hopeful tell themselves. I told myself that half was what real love looked like, and put the expecting of more up on the shelves. Half a love won't keep me warm in February. Half a love won't hold me through the heart. Half a love is better than the nothing, until you realize you've been living on the shark of something that was meant to be the whole thing. and half a love is all I ever received. I asked you once if you were fully in this, if the half was circumstance or character, if you would ever give the whole of what I needed, or if half was always gonna be the parameter. You went quiet in the way you go, and difficult when the answer's in what you wanna give. And the quiet told me everything I needed more clearly than the words you chose to live by. The quiet said the half is not a season. The quiet said the half is what you are. And I sat inside that quiet long enough to know it was too small to be my star. I spent so long inside the rationalizing. The half is more than zero, isn't it? The half is something real and something present. Is it something better than the only? But something isn't everything you're asking, and something isn't what a love should be. And I was worth the whole and full arrival of someone who could give that thing to me. So I left the half love with the gratitude for what the half love taught me about whole. Half love taught me where my boundaries were living. Half love taught me what I need for my soul. Half love taught me what I was worth. Half love gave me the map to find the more. Half love is where my knowing was birthed, the knowing that I needed and deserved the whole. I gave you all of me and you gave half, and that math will overeat me the late time work. Half a love, goodbye to half a love. Hello to the whole. Hello to everything. I deserve the whole. I have been in the middle of my becoming for longer than the becoming seems to take. For the women in the magazine and the timeline who make it look like one clean, graceful lake. But mine has been the muddy kind of becoming, the 2 steps forward and the 1 step back. The beautiful progress followed by the crumbling, the finding of the road and losing of the track. And I used to be ashamed of all the muddy, used to hide the setback and the fall, used to only show the highlight and the forward, used to edit out the hardest parts of all. But the hardest parts are where the real becoming lives, in the crumbling, in the rebuilding and the try. The becoming isn't the arrival at the perfect. The becoming is the reason for the why. This is the becoming, not the finish and not the done. This is the becoming, right here in the middle of the run. Not the woman at the end of all the striving, but the woman in the middle of the make. This is the becoming, and the becoming is enough to every day I'm becoming new. I used to need the destination to feel valid. Used to need the completion to feel real. Used to live inside the when I get there finally, and miss the now and all its now ordeal. But somewhere in the middle of the middle showed me what the end could not. That the process is the product and the living is the destination and the whole entire plot. And when I stopped waiting for the arrived at and started feeling for the underway, the whole enormous ordinary world became the finest place I'd ever stay. I am the woman in the middle of a story, not the finished and the resolved and the known. I am the chapter and the difficult and searching, the seed before the flower and the blown. Open like a seed that hasn't cracked yet, full of everything it's going to become, full of all the future that it's carrying under the soil in the not yet under sun. And I would not trade this middle for the ending. I would not skip the becoming for the arrive, because the becoming is where I am most alive, most alive, most alive. This is the becoming, and I'm most alive. Becoming, beautiful in mind. Becoming, taking all the time it needs to take. Right here, right now. The becoming. This is the becoming. The messy and the genuine and the try. This is the becoming. The woman in the process of a why. Not the finished and not the arrived at, but the sacred and the underway and the real. This is the becoming, and the becoming is the best thing I can feel. I'm becoming something true. Becoming every single day I'm new. Becoming if it's enough. Becoming and it is so good. Can I be honest with you for a minute? Take off all the performance and the gloss. talk to you the way I talk at 2 a.m. when there's nothing left to manage or to cost. I am not always the together and the having it. I am not always the strong and the resolved. I have days when the whole thing feels undoable, when the simplest task is the most unsolvable. And I smile my way through every public morning, and I hold my chin up through the long afternoon. And I get home and I take off all the holding, and I sit inside the honest of the room. Honest, can I just be honest with you now? Honest, without the mentioning and the how I sound. Honest, I'm tired in the way that sleep can't fix. Honest, I need something past the surface of this. Can I be honest? Just honest, just the whole unedited and true. Honest, is there room in this for honest? Can I be honest with you? I love you and that's honest without question. I love the way you show up and remain, but I need you to know the fuller version, not the curated, but the full terrain. The version that is scared on certain mornings, that the things I'm building won't be built in time. The version that compares herself to others, even knowing that comparison's a crime. Against the peace she's worked so hard to tend to, against the woman she's been trying to become. I compare and then I punish and then spiral, and I land back at the quiet and the numb. That's honest, that's the real and unfiltered honest. Can you hold that version of me too? Not just the good mornings and the confident, but the Tuesday of the honest and the through. I've been so careful with the image and the outside. I've been so good at looking like I'm fine, but the finest thing I could give you or me right now is the honest underneath the bottom line. Sometimes I don't know what I need, and that's the most honest thing of all. Sometimes I just need you to sit beside me and not need me to explain the fall. Sometimes I just need the room to be uncertain, to say I don't have an answer or a plan, to put the whole competent performance down for an evening and just be the woman and not the brand. Mm. The hardest nights always end in morning. Always, always, always end in morning. I have been through the kind of dark that has no bottom, the kind that goes deeper than you thought the dark could go, where the morning feels like a rumor and a fiction, and the only thing you know is the vertigo of not knowing when the turning point is coming, of not knowing if the turning point exists, of lying on the floor of the impossible and making your hands into helpless fists. I have been that woman on the kitchen floor at 3 a.m. with nothing left to try. I have been completely broken and unmoving, and I am standing here to tell you why. Because the morning came, it always, always came. Not with trumpets, but not with the announcement, but it came the same, the slow arrival of the undeniable, the light that doesn't ask if you're ready yet. The morning after the storm came quietly, and it hasn't left me since and won't forget. Hey, the morning after the storm is real. It is the truest thing I know. The morning after the storm can heal what the night before made low. I have earned this sunrise with my broken. I have crawled through dark to get to this gold light. The morning after the storm is coming. Hold on through the night. Hold on through the night. The morning's coming. The morning's coming. The morning after the storm is real. I wanna speak to the woman in the middle, the one who's in the storm right now tonight, who cannot see the morning from her location, who's given everything to hold the fight. I wanna tell her what I know from standing on the other side of every dark I know. The morning is not a metaphor or comfort. It is the actual and literal and grown.
is the truest thing I know. The morning after the storm can heal what the night before made low. You have earned this sunrise with your broken. You have survived the dark to get to this goal light. The morning after the storm is coming. Hold on through the night. All through the night. The morning's coming. The morning's coming. Morning after the storm is real. I have seen the morning after the divorce, the morning after the diagnosis in the room, the morning after the call that changed everything, the morning after the grief arrived too soon. And every single morning after the darkness held something that the night before could not. A clarity, a stillness, a beginning. The quiet gold of all the dark has wrought. Not the easy gold, the earned gold. The gold that only comes from going through. The gold